Let me start with this. The whole find what you love and you'll never work a day in your life thing, yeah, it's overrated. Don't get me wrong, doing something you love is important, but the way we've been sold this dream, it's like it's been handed to us like a map with no directions. Just a big red X that says your passion here. And then we wonder why most of us feel so lost. You know, this realization hit me hard a few days ago. I had been chasing this vague notion of passion for what felt like forever. I'd worked for big name companies, I've had impressive job titles, and I've even gotten that occasional pat on the back from people I thought had it all figured out. But deep down, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. It wasn't because I hated my work. I liked it enough. It just felt like there was some piece missing. You know, then out of nowhere, it clicks. Finding what you love isn't about fireworks or some dramatic epiphany. It's more like discovering a favorite coffee shop in your neighborhood. You try it once, and then again and again, and before you know it, it's your go-to spot. So let me explain. The search for passion is broken. We've been sold a myth, haven't we? The idea of passion is something you stumble upon, like a shiny coin on the street. It's this perfect prepackaged thing waiting for us to find it. And once we do, everything magically just falls into place. We imagine waking up every day feeling excited, fulfilled, brimming with purpose, all because we've found our passion. But here's the truth. Passion doesn't work that way. And the harder we chase it, the more lost we feel. Think about how most of us approach this. We scroll through Instagram or LinkedIn, seeing people who seem to have it all figured out. There's the travel blogger, the jet setter off to exotic locations, and the entrepreneur showcasing their startup success, and the artist that's going viral for their latest creations. It's easy to assume that these people have found their passion, their one true thing. But what we don't see is the years of trial, error, and the hard work it took to get there. Passion wasn't waiting for them at the end of some rainbow. They built it brick by brick. This obsession with finding passion also sets us up for failure. When we don't instantly love something or we feel that spark, we think, yeah, maybe this isn't it. We bounce from hobby to hobby, job to job, hoping the next big thing will finally feel right. But in reality, passion doesn't always show up as fireworks. Sometimes it starts as a quiet curiosity, something that piques your interest just enough to keep going. Over time, as you get better and then start seeing results, that interest grows into something more. And let's not forget the pressure that this mindset creates. When you're constantly told to follow your passion, it can feel like you're doing something wrong if you haven't figured it out. But the truth is, most people don't have a single all-consuming passion, and that's okay. You can love multiple things at different times in your life. What matters isn't finding some mythical perfect fit, but choosing something and committing to it, and letting your dedication transform into something meaningful. The reality is, passion isn't something you find, it's something you cultivate. It's born from effort, persistence, and learning to love the process, even when it's messy and frustrating. You don't need to have it all figured out right now. Start with what you're curious about or what you're already good at, and then let it evolve naturally. Passion isn't about destination, it's about a journey that grows alongside you, often in the ways that you've never expected. Stop looking for the one. We've been taught to believe that there's just one magical thing we're meant to do, a calling waiting for us to discover it. It's a seductive idea, isn't it? That somewhere out there your perfect passion is hiding, and once you find it, everything will fall into place. But this mindset is deeply flawed. It turns life into a treasure hunt with no map and endless dead ends, leaving us feeling frustrated and stuck when we can't figure out what the one is. The truth is, there's no single one thing you're meant to do. Most of us are actually capable of loving and excelling in many different things. Depending on where we are in life and what excites you to your 20s might not light you up in your 40s, and that's perfectly normal. Instead of wasting time searching for the perfect fit, it's far more productive to focus on building something that you have a passion for right now. Passion isn't about finding the one, it's about creating a life where you can find fulfillment in the work you choose to do. I used to fall into this trap myself. When I was younger, I spent much time agonizing over whether I was on the right path. Should I stay in UX UI design? Should I pivot to another industry? Or should I just completely start a new career? Every decision felt like it carried the weight of my entire future, and I was terrified of making the wrong choice. But eventually, I realized that there was no single right answer. What mattered was picking something I cared about and then just giving it my all. The moment I stopped obsessing over whether I was doing the right thing and started focusing on doing something well, everything changed. I doubled down on my design, not because I was sure it was my ultimate calling, but because I knew it was something I always enjoyed and something I was really good at. As I improved, opportunities began to open up, new clients, exciting products, and collaborations that I never would have imagined. The passion I had searching for wasn't something that I found. It was something that grew from the commitment I made to my work. You know, if you're stuck looking for the one, you gotta know this. It's not out there waiting for you. Perfect job, hobby, or passion, it doesn't exist. What does exist is the opportunity to take what's in front of you and turn it into something meaningful. Stop worrying about whether you found your one true passion and then start investing investing in the skills, relationships, and the ideas you already have. You might be surprised at how quickly passion starts to grow once you focus less on finding it and more on creating it. The role of pain and frustration. Here's the truth no one talks about when it comes to finding what you love. It's going to be hard, and at times it's going to suck. Pain and frustration are inevitable parts of the process, but they're also signs that you're on the right path. They're proof that you're challenging yourself, pushing yourself to your limits, and engaging with something that truly matters. Yet, so many people walk away from the moment things start to get difficult thinking, you know what, if I really loved this, it wouldn't feel so hard. And that's a mistake. Things that we love often demand the most from us. They test our patience, resilience, and commitment. Think about anyone who's truly excellent at what they do. Athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, hey, even our parents. Their success isn't the result of a smooth, effortless journey. It's the result of showing up on the hard days, the uninspiring days, and the days when everything just seems to go wrong. Pain and frustration aren't barriers to passion. They're part of what makes it meaningful. So I experienced this firsthand with building Blakebill. So when I first had the idea to create this platform that allowed the freelancers and creative professionals to just transfer files and get paid instantly, it sounded simple enough, but actually building it, that was actually a whole different story. I hit roadblock after roadblock. I never anticipated all these technical issues like these design challenges. And again, there's moments where I wondered if it had bitten off more than I could chew. You know, there were nights where I stared at my computer, frustrated, just thinking, why am I even doing this? But again, here's the thing. Every time I pushed through those moments, the sense of accomplishment was unparalleled. When the first client told me how Blakebill made their life easier, or when I saw someone get paid on time without the usual hassle, it all felt worth it. Those moments of frustration didn't detract me from my passion. They deepened it. The struggle made those victories sweeter and then the more fulfilling. If it had all been this easy, I don't think it would have ever meant that much to me. Pain and frustration aren't signs that you should give up. They're signs that you're doing something meaningful. If you feel resistance, it's because you're growing. If it feels uncomfortable, it's because you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Lean into that discomfort, because on the other side of it is the sense of purpose and satisfaction that you're looking for. Passion isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about finding something worth struggling for. And you gotta believe me, the struggle makes the journey all more worthwhile. What you love might already be in front of you. So we often believe that what we love is somewhere far away waiting to be discovered. We tell ourselves that happiness lies in the next job, the next city, or the next big project. But what if the things you're looking for are already in your life? What if the skills, interests, and opportunities you've overlooked are actually the foundation of what you love? It's easy to miss what's right in front of us, especially when we've been conditioned to think that passion has to feel extraordinary right from the start. And for years, I fell into this trap. I kept searching for the perfect thing, convinced I needed to make some big leap to find fulfillment. I hopped from one idea to the next, each time hoping it would finally make me feel that thing I was meant to feel. But I overlooked the small, consistent parts of my life that brought me joy. I ignored the skills I was naturally good at because I felt they were just too simple, like too obvious. I thought passion had to be like, more dramatic, more exciting, more something. The truth is, what you love doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's the quiet things that feel almost too ordinary. Maybe you're great at organizing, teaching, or fixing things. Maybe you enjoy helping others, solving problems, or creating things that makes life easier. This might not seem like the kind of things that grow into passion, but when you pay attention to them, you start to see how much potential they hold. The problem is, we tend to dismiss the things we're already good at because they come so easily. We think, this can't be it, it's too small, it's too boring, it's too familiar. But often, those are the exact things that are worth exploring. Passion doesn't have to start big. It doesn't have to be flashy. It just has to be something you're willing to nurture. When you take the time to invest in what you already enjoy, you give the chance to evolve into something much more meaningful. So before you start searching for what's next, take the moment to reflect on what's already in your life. What do you enjoy doing that comes naturally to you? What problems do you actually care so about solving? What skills do you use without even thinking? These small, simple things might not feel like passion that you've been searching for, but they could be the seeds of something incredible. Sometimes the answer isn't about finding something new. It's about recognizing the value of what's been there all along. Build, don't search. The idea of finding your passion has been drilled into us for so long that it feels so instinctual to look for it. But again, the truth is, passion isn't something you find, it's something you build. The idea that passion will just fall into your lap is not only misleading, but it's also paralyzing. If you're constantly searching for the perfect thing, you'll never get started on anything. Instead, shift your focus. Stop looking and start creating. Passion grows through action, not overthinking. Building passion starts with curiosity. Maybe there's something you've always been interested in but never pursued because it doesn't seem big enough. Maybe you've dismissed hobbies or skills because they didn't feel like they could lead anywhere. So start small. take a class, pick up a project, or dive into something you've always wanted to try. The goal isn't to figure out everything immediately, it's to take a step forward and see where it leads. Passion isn't about the one-time discovery, it's a gradual process that evolves as you do. When you commit to building something, you're also giving yourself permission to fail. And that's important because failure is actually a big part of the process. You might start working on something and then realize it's not for you. That's okay. Every step, even the missteps, teach you something valuable about yourself and your interests. The key is to keep going, to keep building, and allow the journey to shape you. Passion isn't about perfection, it's about persistence and growth. One of the most surprising things about building passion is that it often leads to places you've never expected. You might start with one small project, and through trial and error, you discover an entirely new interest or skill. What begins as a single hobby could turn into a whole career. What starts as solving small problems for yourself could grow into something that impacts others. The act of building, creating, and experimenting is what opens the door to these possibilities, not waiting for some magical moment of inspiration. So, if you're feeling stuck or you're unsure about what to do next, don't waste your time searching for the one. Instead, start building. Find something that sparks even a little of your curiosity, and then take the first step. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. The important thing is that you're actually doing something, because passion doesn't come from waiting or wishing, it comes from actual action. When you focus on building, you create not just passion, but also momentum, purpose, and a life filled with meaning. The takeaway. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Finding what you love isn't about following some grand vision or waiting for a lightning bolt momentum of inspiration. It's about small, intentional choices that you make every day. Passion isn't something that's handed to you or discovered, it's something you create through effort, curiosity, and perseverance. This realization can feel both freeing and daunting, but it's the truth. You have more control over your fulfillment than you think, but it requires you to take action, even when it feels uncertain or uncomfortable. The first step is to let go of the idea that you're searching for a single perfect thing to complete your life. There's no one path, there's no singular passion waiting to reveal itself. You could love many things, and over the course of time, depending on where you are and what matters to you at that time. What's important is that you actually commit to something. Anything that sparks your curiosity or aligns with your values. You don't need to know if it's your forever thing, you just need to start. The second takeaway is that the process will likely be messy and filled with challenges, and that's okay. Anything worth doing comes with its fair shares of frustrations, setbacks, and self-doubt. But instead of seeing those moments as signs that you're on the wrong path, recognize them as opportunities to grow. Those struggles are a part of what makes the work meaningful. If it were easy, it wouldn't feel nearly as rewarding. The things you love will demand something from you, and that's what makes it worthwhile. And another key point is to shift your focus from searching to building. Passion isn't about finding the perfect job, project, or calling. It's about what you create and what's already in your life. Start with what you have, no matter how small it seems. Take a skill you've always enjoyed for a problem you cared about solving and just see where it leads. The act of building, whether it's a project, a skill, even a relationship, is what gives passion its meaning. Over time, the pieces will start to come together, and you'll see how much you're actually capable of creating. Ultimately, the key takeaway is this. Passion isn't a destination, it's a journey that evolves as you do. You won't find it waiting for you out there, but you'll create it in the choices that you make, the work that you do, and the challenges you embrace. The sooner you stop searching and start building, the sooner you'll discover that that passion isn't something you find, it's something you grow. And the beauty of that is that it's never too late to start. No matter where you are, the opportunity to create something meaningful is always within reach.